Hello, my furniture friends. Katie here from Salvaged by K. Scott. I'm about to start fixing up and making over these two wicker chairs that I pulled out of the trash a few weeks ago, but I've never worked on anything quite like these before, so I'm kind of just gonna be winging it. And of course, I'm bringing you all along for the ride. I pulled these out of the trash during our town's bulky item garbage collection days last month, and I wasn't too sure what I wanted to do with them or if I could do anything with them, but now I'm hoping that I can clean them up, give them a fresh paint job, reupholster the seats, and then use them in our yard this summer. But like I said, I've never worked on repairing anything wicker or rattan like this before, so I'm just gonna start and see what happens. I haven't actually looked at these too closely yet, so I'm not even sure all what I'm in for here. Let's see what we can find out. Most of the legs were broken off at the bottom or just squishy from rot, but I was pretty sure that I could fix most of that with some epoxy wood putty. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to figure out how to deal with that too. I found a few screws hiding on the bottoms that seemed to be holding the seats onto the frame, so I backed those out with my drill and got the seats off. But the screws were kind of rusted into the frame, so I ended up having to hammer them back through and then yank them out with some pliers. A lot of these bindings around the joints were broken and just kind of crumbling off. So after initially thinking I might be able to just tack the loose ones back in place, I realized that most of it was going to need to be fully replaced. All right, I'm going to have to figure out some kind of lashing to get on there. Maybe I can find some reeds. I'm going to keep pressing forward and take these outside and see how much of this flaky white paint I can get off of here. I sprayed the chairs down with some of this QCS eco-friendly cleaner and finish remover, hoping it would help loosen things up, and I let that sit on there for about 30 minutes before I went at them with a scrub brush and sprayed off as much of this stuff as I could with my hose. Not nearly as much paint came off of those with the hose as I was hoping for, which means they're gonna need a ton of sanding. I am not in the mood to do that right now, so I'm gonna quickly take a look on Amazon to see if I can find some kind of strapping or reed stuff to fix those joints, and then I'm going to head out to the fabric store and Home Depot to look for some design inspiration and pick up the rest of the supplies that I need. Real talk. Before I left the house, I put in an Amazon order for the reed strips that I need to fix the joinery on the chairs. That was $30 Canadian. Now, after wandering through the fabric store, and seeing that the outdoor grade foam that I need to replace the seat cushions is another $19.99 plus tax, and all of the outdoor fabric is between $30 and $40 a meter. I'm like $80 into this project already, and that doesn't even include a can of paint or all of the wood putty that I'm going to need to try and rebuild those feet, for 2 little garden chairs that I found in the trash that are maybe going to get sat in our backyard a few times this season. It's just not making good financial sense. So as much as I hate to say it, I don't think these ones are worth the save. I really want to still use them though. They still could serve a purpose. And when I was looking at them with the seats off, they kind of just look like plant stands. Like people put old chairs out in their garden to hold potted plants all the time. So maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll go over to Home Depot and grab a couple of cheap cans of spray paint. I can chop off the legs where they're rotted and grab some potted plants and do that instead. Okay. Let's go to Home Depot. Are we going to make the advanced green? We are! Barely. There are so many pretty colors to choose from in this aisle, but the siding on our house is all white with black trim, and I'm pretty boring and basic, so I chose to go with just plain black. Out to the garden center. I think I'm just gonna go with 2 big Boston ferns. Okay, I feel much better about this situation now. And the sun's trying to come out for the first time in a week. That's a sign, right? I posted about my little dilemma in my Instagram stories, and a lot of my good followers have agreed with me that moving ahead with plant stands instead of putting in all the expense and effort of turning them into something that you could actually sit comfortably in. So I feel much better now with my decision, and I'm going to move forward with my quick spray paint and fix up job. At least they're not going into the trash. I think I'm just going to quickly rip through these rotted out feet with my jigsaw. Safety glasses. I think I ended up cutting about 1.5 inches off of each leg. I wasn't really worried about precision here. I just wanted to get them even enough to sit straight, and I was able to do that all by eye. I'm just gonna pull off the rest of this broken stuff. and not worry about replacing it anymore. I think if you were going to be sitting in these chairs, you would want this little bit of extra to keep things nice and secure. But since these are just going to be sitting out in my garden, they are all screwed together in each of the joints, so I think it should be just fine. I absolutely love this little trigger handle for using spray paint cans. It clips right onto the top of the can and then presses the nozzle down when you pull the trigger. It just makes spraying bigger projects like this so much easier and keeps your fingers from getting painted too. They're only like $4 or $5 and so handy if you use a lot of spray paint. I gave both chairs a quick spray upside down to get the bottoms and then flipped them upright and sprayed on another coat. I wasn't too worried about getting perfect coverage, but I tried to hit them from every angle so that I could get the black into all the little crevices. With all the flaking paint that's still on here, I expect this new paint will only last a year or two, but that's okay. And I can switch up the color on these whenever I want to down the line. These openings are 14 inches, but my pots are only 10 inches. So I'm gonna need to put something in there for the pots to sit on. I pulled all of the upholstery off of one of the seats, hoping that I could reuse this wood, but they're just way too rotted out. I do have this janky old piece of plywood though, so I think I'm gonna use the old seat bottoms as a template and just cut 2 new rounds. I'll paint them black and then they can sit on top of the chairs to hold the pots in place. This is definitely not the end product that I had in mind when I picked these up off the street, but sometimes things don't go as planned, and that is perfectly okay. I've still saved these from ending up in the landfill for a long time to come and created some fun garden decor for myself. Anywho, thank you so much for watching today. Make sure that you're subscribed to see what I do with all of the other abandoned furniture treasures that I find out in the world, and I will catch you all next time.